Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sean Andrew, back with another review. This time we'll be talking about the series Touch, Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot. Now, the basic breakdown of this story deals with a guy named Martin and his emotionally troubled son, who we also find out is kind of autistic. Now, he does not like to be touched. Even Martin can't even hold him. And he also has this weird thing with numbers. It almost tells him kind of what's going to happen in the future. Now, a social worker is end up called because you have these situations where Martin's son keeps disappearing. And he keeps showing up to this particular high tower every time like clockwork. And so she has to evaluate what's actually going on. Is this going to be a safe environment for him? And he starts figuring out of what the numbers are meaning that the son is writing in the book. When he gave his son a few cell phones, the son put him in a particular spiral shape, and all the phones went off at the same time, and they all presented the same number. A situation happened with her as well. The boy is counting out popcorn kernels, and in the way in which he puts the kernels out, she's counting them, and then she notices that the number sounds like her mother's telephone number. And lo and behold, her phone rings. It's her mother's telephone number that appears. Even though there was only static, there was still something about that really showed her, this kid has something more to him. He then goes over and circles the 18th on, looks like a kind of a display board. And this has been a running theme so far with majority of the numbers that they've shown, 318. So this has her intrigued of what's going on. So she goes back to Martin. She's like, hey, something is happening. Well, when it's all said and done, at the end, they start realizing these things are happening for a reason. The number 318 appeared on a bus that just happened to be saved by a man who had just got into a fight with Martin at a gas station over a lottery ticket. Now, the sad story with him is that he has been playing this same lottery ticket thousands of times. And the number is a date, or in this case, 9/11. The floor he was on at the time, and the amount of flights of steps to get to the bottom. But the steps where that started off, that was where he put a woman down after carrying her for a while, realizing she wasn't going to make it. And then we come to find out that woman was Martin's wife. So it's interesting how that part got put into the whole twist. At the very end, the son dials a phone number into Martin's phone, and Martin calls it and says, listen, sir, I know this may seem weird, but I think I'm meant to help you. And then they go to credits. Now, the other thing is that they had a bunch of other side characters that are all based around a cell phone. A man loses a cell phone at the airport. That phone gets sent to somewhere over in Dublin, and a man there is recording his coworker, Kayla, singing. And he then takes the phone, puts it in some random man's luggage as that guy is getting into a cab. That guy who now has the phone goes to see some type of call girl. She ends up taking the phone from him and stealing a lot of money. And as she run off, she's talking with her friends about seeing a girl sing on the phone and thinking, she's really good, she's probably really huge, I want to be a fan of hers. And they somehow get that camera to play in what's most likely the equivalent of Times Square in Japan, or probably in Tokyo, on the huge screens. The man who was looking for the phone, because it had the last pictures of his daughter before she died. He's also in Tokyo, and he's now looking, and he can see his daughter on these huge screens all around him. Feeling a bit at peace, he then goes back home to his wife, and they were trying to celebrate, is what it seemed like, the day of her passing. So that was kind of interesting. But then the phone continues its travel. Some kid, and I'm guessing Iraq, who just wants to be a comedian. He's very much inspired by Chris Rock. After learning that his mother's oven that they were using to keep making bread so that they could provide, so they can make money to provide for living, well, it breaks down. He decides he's going to do it himself. He's going to actually go out and steal an oven. He gets caught, and these people strap a bomb to his chest using the man's phone as a way of being kind of like the detonator or countdown. Well, even though the guy at the time when he was in Tokyo was actually calling his service provider to say, hey, can you track where the phone is? Once he saw the pictures, he seemed to have been revealed. Like I said, then he went on to his business. But that lady who then contacted the phone spoke to the boy, and he's like, hey, when you see this in the paper, let them know I'm not a bad guy. They made me blow this place up. And she's like, whoa, what? What's going on? Then kind of find out all this is just over an oven. And she's like, look, we'll get you the oven. Just don't blow anybody up. Take the battery out of the phone. And at the very end, he does end up getting the oven. So this just totally screams like touched by an angel and lost. That's what it feels like. They also are going to have the series return on March 19th. I have no idea why they're doing these long dates in between showing the series. Usually I always just feel that kind of messes up a show unless you got a really hardcore fan base. They do the same thing with Smash. Smash has already been released on YouTube as well as on demand, but they aren't going to air for another 2 more weeks. So that's kind of odd. But either way, how they do it, I will be watching probably the next 2 or 3 episodes at least to see if it really gets me into it. For what it's set up right now, it's interesting, and I think that's the best word I can use for it, because I can't say it's 100% original. So I'll just stick with interesting. Well, please feel free to leave your comments down below on your thoughts of the show, and what do you think about the whole, this long time period in between actually airing the episodes? Is there a real point to it? I mean, if it's just to build buzz, there's a lot of other ways of doing it, because if you're just going to air it, then just go ahead and air it. So, my name is Sean Andrew with the TV Show Review, and that has been my review of the series Touch, Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot. See ya.